Welcome back to the Forge Bladesmiths. Today I have something extremely awesome that I've been wanting to work on for 7 years now. I cannot wait to get started on it, and I want to share this build process with you guys just in case if anybody out there wants to build one. I'll be linking a parts list in the description below, so if you do want to try it, I'm going to try and make this as detailed as possible. If I miss anything at all, please feel free to ask me any questions. Quick disclaimer though, I am not a professional welder. Also, I'm not a hydraulics expert. I got the idea from Redbeard Ops. Huge shout out to him. He has a really cool diagram that explains basic hydraulics, the flow, everything. I'll also leave a link in the description below for his channel. Please go check him out. My build will also be based a lot off of the James Battston's Forge Press. He has a book out, and I highly recommend buying it. If you're gonna do this, please do the research because you are messing with some serious pressure. Anyway, guys, let's get to it, and I am looking forward to this. So all I'm doing right here is measuring out 2 inches down because 2 inches is the center line from the bottom of the hydraulic cylinder to the center of the pin, and then 9 inches over because this plate is 18 inches. So I'm just marking the halfway point. Now I'm just drilling a 1/4 inch pilot hole for the 1 1/4 inch hole saw. Now this 1 1/4 inch hole saw, you want to take your time. It builds up a lot of heat. Go slow, you're not in a rush. This is an inch plate, so it's going to take a little while. Time to clean up these plates and prep them for welding. When you get about 3/4 of the way through, you'll need to clean the plate and flip it over. Make sure that the chips are off of the drill press table. If there's a chip underneath your plate, the hole saw might go in at an angle and mess up and oblong your hole, which is something you definitely don't want. So once you get that mill scale ground off, you're going to want to take some calipers. Well, at least in my case, I needed 22 inch plates, but they only had 24 inch. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my calipers down to 1 inch thickness, and I'm going to come in from the edge and scribe a line because I need to bring my angle iron 1 inch on both sides to get me 22 inches. Now the reason for that is because the angle iron is 5 inches wide on both sides, so that's 10 inches. So you take 10 inches off the 22 and it leaves me with a 12-inch working space in between the two angle irons, which is exactly what I wanted. So let's go ahead and get those marked out. Make sure you mark both sides. And this is only if your plates come in on only 2 feet lengths. If you can get them cut down to 22 inches, then you can skip this step entirely. I cannot stress the importance of cleaning your metal. This metal had quite a bit of mill scale on it. You want to get that all off because it can create inclusions in your welds, and you don't want that on something that's going to be under this kind of force and pressure. I'm going to be using some 7018 welding rod, and that stuff requires a pretty clean slate. Okay, so what I've got going on right here now is just checking for squareness, lining up with this 1-inch plate, making sure that I'm straight all the way down. You don't want this thing out of square, because then you'll end up with binding issues on your slide. I'm going to be using some 6011, just get some tacks on there, and if I need to do any final straightening or whatever, hopefully she won't be too tight. I can kind of manipulate the end down there. So I already messed up. I should have tacked this side down, because now it's flexing. So I'm going to grind this off and then tack over here. So now before I tack this one down, I'm going to come in between in multiple spots and just check with a tape measure real quick and make sure that I'm 12 inches here, 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 and here. The gapping is very important. Right at 12 inches on the inside there. Right at 12 inches inside there. We might be closing up a little bit. No big deal. Right at 12 inches there. I'm happy with that. That's maybe 1/64. I'm cool with that. Now I'm going to tack this side down, flip, repeat. Actually, I'll probably tack this down and then take my top plate, grind it down, get it all cleaned up, scribe out my lines, my 1-inch marks, and then tack these on there. And that way it's done on this side, and then I'll flip. Alright guys, so here it is all tacked up. That's the basic frame assembly here. I already started running some beads. I didn't want to bore you guys with an hour video of me welding, so I just basically ran 6011 on the seam, and then I'll take 7018 and run on both sides of that, and maybe one over the top, and I'll probably call that good. I might do a little bit more. But yeah, so you weld all seams, so you'll weld this side, top, this side, and then underneath as well. That one's kind of hard to get. There's the gap that you'll get, which is a 1-inch spacing, which will allow this 1-inch plate, which mounts to the hydraulic ram. This will free float inside of that channel in there, that 1-inch gap that we created. Alright guys, so that's all I got for today. Come back next week and I should have part 2 finished. I'll probably break this down into a 3-part, maybe even 4-part series that'll kind of go over the hydraulics, hooking all that up, getting all the fittings put in, sealed up properly. Like I said, I want to make this as detailed as possible for you guys to follow along. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Any questions you have at all, leave them down below, and I'll try and get to them in the next video. Catch you next time in the Forge, Bladesmiths.